right, good morning. I'm going to preface the briefing today by saying our computer system's down, so I'll give you what I can, and I have no idea of a time frame when it's going to be up. Aggravated assaults, we had, I guess, a couple of things. One of them we had, do you want to grab that door? Yeah. Just get a little loud out there. One of them I'll start with that happened on Saturday evening. Thank you. So this is Saturday evening around 7 p.m. It was at the Walmart on Arrowhead Parkway. It really began as a shoplifting. We had a guy, it was actually two guys, but one of them in particular had shoplifted some items. When he was confronted by loss prevention, the suspect pulled out a knife, initially threatened the employee, and then swung the knife at the employee. He then left with the merchandise. It was about 11:30 that night. We had officers that found the suspect. That was kind of in the area of 2nd Street in Minnesota. The suspect was arrested for aggravated assault, robbery, obstruction, and resisting arrest. That came from when they went to arrest him. His name, last is Dahl, D-A-H-L. First is Ryan, R-Y-A-N. Middle is Jeffrey, J-E-F-F-R-E-Y. I don't have his date of birth at this, or his age at this point in time.
What did he steal?
Primarily clothing is what it was. The first one on the log, that was Saturday night. That was a stabbing that took place. We had a fight between a couple of guys that know each other. Sounds like this may have been planned for them to meet up. That was in the 1600 block of South Rock Creek Drive. Once the two got there, the suspect ended up pulling out a knife, swung it, and stabbed the victim at least twice that I know of. Once was in the arm, and the other was in the torso. The suspect then left. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. I believe they were still described as non-life-threatening, but the suspect has not been found. We do know who he is, though.
Is the victim released from the hospital?
It didn't say. He was taken to the hospital. I don't know if he was going to be admitted or treated. I think he was probably going to be admitted, but I don't think the report specifically said if he was released. Let's see. We had reports, a couple of them. Let's see. We did have the aggravated assault. There's one on West 12th Street. That was the 3200 block, which was the around the Elman trailhead. Our victim was sitting on at a table at the trailhead or near the wreck trail. The suspect came up. He casually knows the suspect. The suspect accused him of taking something, but the victim really didn't know what he was talking about. The victim ended up pulling out a knife and swung it several times at the victim. The suspect left, and we were able to find him later. No injuries in that case. He was arrested for aggravated assault and fleeing. And then the last aggravated assault on the log, that was a motel room that was shot. No suspects on that, no injuries were reported. Burglaries are reports. Disorderlies, really nothing of big from those. Family offenses were more reports. Frauds, larcenies, I didn't have a chance to get to those. The one indecent exposure, that was somebody that was urinating by a home. No arrests on that. The robberies, the first one, that was somebody was threatened with a knife, and then a cell phone was taken. No injuries with that, no description or didn't know the suspects. Excuse me, that was Saturday night. And then the other robbery was Saturday morning. That was in the 100 block of South Summit, and that one had some people that were sitting outside an apartment building, and then the suspect threatened them with a gun, took some cash, and then left. And no arrests on that. No connection between the victim and the suspect, so we're still working to identify him. Sex offenses are all reports. Same thing with the simple assaults. Nothing suspicious with the unattended deaths. the unknown problem that was related to mental illness. Vandalisms, we didn't have anything concentrated in one area. And there was 2 weapons violations. Of both of them are, well, one of them is a report, and then the other was a report that was created in error, so. But nothing of note on the one that was a report. That's all I have, unless you have any questions.